whom we forever thank for giving us as our leader and teacher, the one who's here in America today in the person of the most honorable and humble Elijah Muhammad.
This is one of the strongest national preachers that I have in the bounds of North America. Everywhere you hear him, listen to him. Everywhere you see him, look at him. Everywhere he advises you to go, go. Everywhere he advises you to stay from. So we are thankful to Allah for this great helper of mine, Minister Farrakhan.
Attention, prayer.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Hayya ala salat. Hayya ala salat. Hayya ala falah. Hayya ala falah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah. قل أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
I mean. All praise is due to Allah. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I thank Allah for His coming intervention in our affairs, in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise is due forever. I thank him for the eternal leader of the nation of Islam, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. I thank the both of them for the modern day Jesus in our midst, our divine guide, our divine warner, and a divine mercy among us. The final call, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I greet you in the greeting words of peace and paradise in our original language of Arabic. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the Holy Qur'an 30 and 30 Quranic Reading and Podcast. I am Sister Regina, and I am truly grateful for this divinely guided journey through the Holy Qur'an. Today, from installment number 43, we'll be reading part 27. Part 27 begins with Surah 51, Ayat 31, and goes all the way through to Surah 57, Ayat 29. Once again, today, from installment number 43, we'll be reading part 7. Our sister Halima will begin our read. Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah.
Part 27, Surah 51, The Scatterers. Section 2, The Fate of Previous Nations, Ayats 31 through 46. He said, "What is your errand, O messengers?" They said, "We have been sent to a guilty people, that we may send upon them stones of clay, marked from thy Lord for the prodigal." Then we brought forth such believers as were there, and we found there but a single house of Muslims. And we left therein a sign for those who fear the painful chastisement. And in Moses, when we sent him to Pharaoh with clear authority, but he turned away on account of his might and said, "An enchanter or a madman." So we seized him and his hosts and hurled them into the sea, and he was blamable. And in Ad, when we sent upon them a destructive wind, it spared not that it came against, but it made it like ashes. And in Thamud, when it was said to them, "Enjoy yourselves for a while," but they revolted against the commandment of their Lord. So the punishment overtook them while they saw. So they weren't able to rise up, nor could they defend themselves. And the people of Noah before, surely they were a transgressing people.
Part 27, Surah 51, The Scatterers. Section 3, Judgment is Sure. And the heaven, we raise it high with power, and we are the makers of the vast extent. And the earth, we have spread it out, how well we prepared it. And of everything we have created pairs, that you may be mindful. So flee to Allah, surely I am a plain warner to you from him. And do not set up with Allah another God. Surely I am a plain warner to you from him. Thus there came not a messenger to those before them, but they said, an enchanter or a madman. Have they charged each other with this? Nay, they are an inordinate people. So turn away from them, for thou art not to blame. And remind and profit the believers. And I have not created the jinn and the men except that they should serve me. I desire no sustenance from them, nor do I desire that they should feed me. Surely Allah is the bestower of sustenance, the Lord of power, the strong. Surely the lot of the wrongdoers is as was the lot of their companions. So let them not ask me to hasten on. Woe, then, to those who disbelieve, because of that day of theirs which they are promised.
Part 27, Surah 50.
Surah 52, the mountain. Section 1, Success of the Faithful. Ayats 1 through 28. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, by the mountain, and a book written on unfolded vellum, and the frequented house, and the elevated canopy, and the swollen sea. The chastisement of thy Lord will surely come to pass. There is none to avert it on the day when the heavens will be in a state of commotion and the mountains will pass away fleeting. Woe on that day to the deniers who amuse themselves by vain talk, the day when they are driven to hell, fire with violence. This is the fire which you gave the lie to. Is it magic, or do you not see? Burn in it, then bear it patiently, or bear it not. It is the same to you. You are only requited. SubhanAllah, you are requited only for what you did. The dutiful will be surely in gardens and bliss, rejoicing because of what their Lord has given them, and their Lord saved them from the chastisement of the burning fire. Eat and drink with pleasure for what you did, reclining on thrones set in lines, and we shall join them to pure, beautiful ones. And those who believe and whose offspring follow them in faith, we unite with them their offspring, and we shall deprive them of naught of their work. Every man is pledged for what he has done. And we shall aid them with fruit and flesh as they desire. They pass therein from one to another a cup wherein is neither vanity nor sin. And round them go boys of theirs as if they were hidden pearls. And they will advance to each other questioning, saying, surely we feared before on account of our families. But Allah has been gracious to us, and He has saved us from the chastisement of the hot wind. Surely we called upon Him before. Surely He is the benign, the merciful.
Part 27, Surah 52, the mountain. Section 2, opponents are doomed. Ayats 29 through 49. So remind, for by the grace of thy Lord thou art no soothsayer, no madman. Or say they, a poet, we wait for him the evil accidents of time. Say, wait, I too wait along with you. Or do their understandings bid them this? Or are they an inordinate people? Or say they, he has forged it. Nay, they have no faith. Then let them bring a saying like it if they are truthful. Or were they created without a creative agency? Or are they the creators? Or did they create the heavens and the earth? Nay, they are sure of nothing. Or have they the treasures of thy Lord with them? Or have they absolute authority? Or have they the means by which they listen? Then let their listener bring a clear authority. Or has he daughters, and you have sons? Or askest thou a reward from them, so that they are overburdened by a debt? Or possess they the unseen, so they write it down? Or do they intend a plot? But those who disbelieve will be the ensnared ones in the plot. Or have they a God other than Allah? Glory be to Allah from what they set up with him. And if they were to see a portion of the heaven coming down, they would say, pile of clouds. Leave them then till they meet that day of days, wherein they are smitten with punishment. The day when their struggle will avail them not, nor will they be helped. And surely for those who do wrong, there is a chastisement besides that, but most of them know not. And wait patiently for the judgment of thy Lord, for surely thou art before our eyes, and celebrate the praise of thy Lord when thou risest. And in the night give him glory too, and at the setting of the stars.
Part 27, Surah 53, The Star, Section 1. Elements to be attained by the Prophet. Ayats 1 through 25. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, by the star when it sets. Your companion errs not, nor does he deviate, nor does he speak out of desire. It is not but revelation that is revealed. One mighty in power has taught him, the Lord of strength. So he attained to perfection, and he is in the highest part of the horizon. Then he drew nearer yet. So he was the measure of two bows, or closer still. So he revealed to his servant what he revealed. The heart was not untrue in seeing what he saw. Did you then dispute with him as to what he saw? And certainly he saw him in another descent, at the furthest lote tree. Near it is the garden of abode, when that which covered the lote tree. The eye turned not aside, nor did it exceed the limit. Certainly he saw of the greatest signs of his Lord. Have you then considered Lot and Uzziah, and another, the third, Manat? Are the males for you, and for him the females? This indeed is an unjust division. They are not but names which you have named, you and your fathers. Allah has sent down, subhanallah. Allah has sent no authority for them. They follow but conjecture and what their souls desire. And certainly the guidance has come to them from their Lord. Or shall man have what he wishes? But for Allah is the hereafter and the former life.
Part 27, Surah 53, The Star, Section 2. Nothing avails against truth. Ayats 26 through 32. And how many angels are in the heavens whose intercession avails naught except after Allah gives permission to whom He pleases and chooses. Surely those who believe not in the hereafter name the angels with female names, and they have no knowledge of it. They follow but conjecture, and surely conjecture avails naught against truth. So shun him who turns his back upon our reminder and desires nothing but this world's life. That is their goal of knowledge. Surely thy Lord knows best him who strays from his path, and he knows best him who goes aright. And Allah's is whatever is in the heavens and whatever is in the earth, that he may reward those who do evil for what? SubhanAllah, for that which they do, and reward those who do good with goodness. Those who avoid the great sins and the indecencies, but the passing idea. Surely thy Lord is liberal and forgiving. He knows you best when he brings you forth from the earth and when you are embryos in the wombs of your mothers. So ascribe not purity to yourselves. He knows him best who guards against evil.
Part 27, Surah 53, The Star. Section 3, Allah's power manifested in destruction of falsehood. Ayats 33 through 62. Seest thou him who turns back and gives a little, then withholds? Has he the knowledge of the unseen so that he can see? Or has he not been informed of what is in the scriptures of Moses and of Abraham who fulfilled commandments? That no bearer of a burden bears another's burden, and that man can have nothing but what he strives for, and that his striving will soon be seen. Then he will be rewarded for it with the fullest reward. And that to thy Lord is the goal, and that he is like who makes men laugh and makes them weep. And that he is who causes death and gives life, and that he creates pairs, the male and the female, from the small life germ when it is adapted, and that he has ordained the second bringing forth, and that he it is who gives wealth and contentment, and that he is the Lord of Surah, and that he destroyed the first Ad and Thamud, so he spared not, subhanAllah. And the people of Noah before, surely they were most iniquitous and inordinate, and the overthrown cities he hurled down, so there covered them that which covered. Which then of thy Lord's benefits wilt thou dispute? This is a warner of the warners of old. The near event draws nigh. There is none besides Allah to remove it. Wonder you then at this announcement? And do you laugh and not weep while you sport? So bow down in prostration before Allah and serve him. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
Part 27, Surah 54, The Moon. Section 1, Judgment to Overtake Opponents. Ayats 1 through 22. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. The hour draws nigh, and the moon was rent asunder. Subhanallah. The hour drew nigh, and the moon was rent asunder. And if they see a sign, they turn away and say, strong enchantment.
Why there's nobody in the classroom? That's all Thomas is going to be.
And they deny and follow their low desires, and every affair is settled. And certainly narratives have come to them which should deter, consummate wisdom, but warnings avail not. So turn away from them on the day when the inviter invites them to a hard task. Their eyes cast down, they will go forth from their graves as if they were scattered locusts, hastening to the inviter. The disbelievers will say, this is a hard day. Before them, the people of Noah rejected. They rejected our servants and called him mad, and he was driven away. So he called upon his Lord. I am overcome, so do thou help. Then we opened the gates of heaven with water pouring down, and made water to flow forth in the land in springs. So the water gathered together according to a measure already ordained. And we bore him on that which we made of planks and nails, floating on before our eyes, a reward for him who was denied. And certainly we left it as a sign. But is there anyone that will mind? How terrible was then my chastisement and my warning. And certainly we have made the Qur'ān easy to remember. But is there anyone who will mind? Ad denied. So how terrible was my chastisement and my warning. Surely we sent on them a furious wind in a day of bitter ill luck, tearing men away as if they were the trunks of palm trees torn up. How terrible was then my chastisement and my warning. And certainly we have made the Qur'an easy to remember. But is there anyone who will mind?
Part 27, Surah 54, The Moon. Section 2, Thamud and Lot's people. Ayats 23 through 40. Thamud rejected the warning. So they said, what? A single mortal from among us? Shall we follow him? We shall then be in sure error and distress. Has the reminder been sent to him from among us? Nay, he is an insolent liar. Tomorrow they will know who is the liar, the insolent one. Surely we are going to send the she-camel as a trial for them. So watch them and have patience, and inform them that the water is shared between them. Every share of the water shall be attended. But they called their companions. So he took a sword and hamstrung her. How terrible was then my chastisement and my warning. Surely we sent upon them a single cry. So they were like the dry fragments of trees which the maker of an enclosure collects. And certainly we have made the Qur'an easy to remember. But is there anyone who will mind? The people of Lot treated the warning as a lie. Surely we sent upon them a stone storm, except Lot's followers. We saved them a little before daybreak. A favor from us, thus do we reward him who gives thanks. And certainly he warned them of our violent seizure, but they disputed the warning. And certainly they endeavored to turn him from his guest, but we blinded their eyes. So taste my chastisement and my warning. And certainly a lasting chastisement overtook them in the morning. So taste my chastisement and my warning. And certainly we have made the Qur'an easy to remember, but is there anyone who will mind?
Part 27, Surah 54, the Moon, Section 3, Pharaoh and the Prophet's Opponents, Ayats 41 through 55. And certainly the warning came to Pharaoh's people. They rejected all our signs, so we overtook them with the seizing of the mighty, the powerful. Are your disbelievers better than these? Or have you an immunity in the scriptures? Or say they, we are a host allied together to help each other? Soon shall the hosts be routed, and they will show their backs. Nay, the hour is their promised time, and the hour is most grievous and bitter. Surely the guilty are in error and distress on the day when they are dragged into the fire upon their faces. Taste the touch of hell. Surely we have created everything according to a measure, and our command is but once, as the twinkling of an eye. And certainly we destroyed your fellows, but is there anyone who will mind? And certainly they, subhanAllah, and everything they do is in the writings, and everything, small and great, is written down. Surely the dutiful will be among gardens and rivers, in the seat of truth with a most powerful king.
Part 27, Surah 55, the Beneficent. Section 1, Divine Beneficence. Ayats 1 through 25. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. The Beneficent taught the Qur'an. He created man, taught him expression. The sun and the moon follow a reckoning, and the herbs and the trees adore him. And the heaven, he raised it high, and he set up the measure, that you may not exceed the measure, and keep up the balance with equity, nor fall short in the measure. And the earth, he has set it for his creatures. Therein is fruit and palms, having sheathed clusters, and the grain with its husk and fragrance. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? He created man from dry clay like earthen vessels, and he created the jinn of a flame of fire. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? Lord of the two easts and Lord of the two wests. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? He has made the two seas to flow freely, they meet. Between them is a barrier which they cannot pass. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? There come forth from them both pearls large and small. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? And his are the ships reared aloft in the sea like mountains. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny?
Part 27, Surah 55, the Beneficent. Section 2, Judgment of the Guilty. Ayats 26 through 45. Everyone on it passes away, and there endures forever the person of thy Lord, the Lord of glory and honor. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? All those in the heaven and the earth ask of him. Every moment he is in a state of glory. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? Soon shall we apply ourselves to you, O you two armies. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? O assembly of jinn and men, if you are able to pass through the regions of the heavens and the earth, then pass through. You cannot pass through but with authority. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? The flames of fire and sparks of brass will be sent upon you. Then you will not be able to defend yourselves. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? So when the heaven is rent asunder, so it becomes red like red hide, which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? So on that day, neither man nor jinni will be asked about his sin. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? The guilty will be known by their marks, so they shall be seized by the forelocks and the feet. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? This is the hell which the guilty deny. Round about shall they go between it and hot boiling water. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny?
Part 27, Surah 55, the Beneficent. Section 3, Reward of the Righteous. Ayats 46 through 78. And for him who fears to stand before his Lord are two gardens. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? Full of varieties. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? Therein are two fountains flowing. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? Therein are pears of every fruit. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? Reclining on beds whose inner coverings are of silk brocade, and the fruits of the two gardens are within reach. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? Therein are those restraining their glances, whom no man nor genie has touched before them. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? As though they were rubies and pearls. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? Is the reward of goodness or the goodness? Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? And besides those are two other gardens. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? Inclining to blackness. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? Therein are two springs gushing forth. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? Therein are fruits and palms and pomegranates. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? Therein are goodly beautiful ones. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? Pure ones confined to pavilions. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? Before them man has not touched them, nor genie. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? Reclining on green cushions and beautiful carpets. Which then of the bounties of your Lord will you deny? Blessed be the name of thy Lord, the Lord of glory and honor.
Part 27, Surah 56, The Event. Section 1, Three Classes of Men. Ayats 1 through 40. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. When the event comes to pass, there is no belying its coming to pass, abasing some, exalting others. When the earth is shaking with a severe shaking, and the mountains are crumbled to pieces, so they are as scattered dust, and you are three sorts. So those on the right hand, how happy are those on the right hand, and those on the left, how wretched are those on the left. And the foremost are the foremost. These are drawn nigh to Allah in gardens of bliss, a multitude from among the first, and a few from among those of later times, on thrones enwrought, reclining on them facing each other. Round about them will go youths, never altering in age, with goblets and ewers, and a cup of pure drink. They are not affected with headache thereby, nor are they intoxicated. And the fruits that they choose are flesh of fowl that they desire, and pure, beautiful ones, like hidden pearls, a reward for what they did. They hear therein no vain or sinful talk, but only the saying, peace, peace. And those on the right hand, how happy are those on the right hand, amid thornless lote trees and clustered banana trees, and extensive shade and water gushing, and abundant fruit, neither intercepted nor forbidden, and exalted couches. Surely we have created them a new creation. So we have made them virgins, loving, equal in age. For those on the right hand, a multitude from among the first, and a multitude from among those of later times.
Part 27, Surah 56, the event. Section 2, the guilty. Ayats 41 through 74. And those on the left hand, how wretched are those on the left hand, in hot wind and boiling water, and shadow of black smoke, neither cool nor refreshing. Surely they lived before that in ease, and they persisted in the great violation. And they used to say, when we die and become dust and bones, shall we then be raised? Or our fathers of yore? Say, the ancients and those of latter times will surely be gathered together for the appointed hour of a known day. Then shall you, O you who err and deny, eat of the tree of Zaqqum, and fill your bellies with it. Then drink after it of boiling water, and drink as drinks the thirsty camel. This is their entertainment on the day of requital. We have created you. Why do you not then accept? See you that which you emit? SubhanAllah. See you that which you emit? Is it you that create it, or are we the creators? We have ordained death among you, and we are not to be overcome, that we may change your state and make you grow into what you know not. And certainly you know the first growth. Why do you not then mind? See you what you sow? Is it you that cause it to grow, or are we the causers of growth? If we pleased, we would make it chaff. Then would you lament? Surely we are burdened with debt. Nay, we are deprived. See you the water which you drink? Do you bring it down from the clouds, or are we the bringer? If we please, we could make it saltish. Why give you not thanks? See you the fire which you kindle? Is it you that produces the trees for it, or are we the producers? We have made it a reminder and an advantage for the wayfarers of the desert. So glorify the name of thy Lord, the incomparably great.
Part 27, Surah 56, the event. Section 3, Judgment is inevitable. Ayat 75 through 96. But nay, I swear by revelation of portions of the Qur'an, and it is a great oath indeed if you knew. Surely it is a bounteous Qur'ān, in a book that is protected, which none touches save the purified ones, a revelation from the Lord of the worlds. Is it this announcement that you disdain, and make your denial your means of subsistence? Why is it not then that when it comes up to the throat, and you at that time look on, and we are nearer to it than you, but you see not? Why then, if you are not held under authority, do you not send it back if you are truthful? Then if he is one of those drawn nigh to Allah, then happiness and bounty and gardens of bliss. And if he is one of those on the right hand, then peace to thee from those on the right hand. And if he is one of the rejectors, the errant ones, he has an entertainment of boiling water and burning in hell. Surely this is a certain truth. So glorify the name of thy Lord, the incomparably great.
Part 27, Surah 57, Iron, Section 1, Establishment of the Kingdom of God, Ayats 1 through 10. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Whatever is in the heavens and the earth declarifies the glory of Allah, and He is the mighty, the wise. His is the kingdom of the heavens and the earth. He gives life and causes death, and He is possessor of power over all things. He is the first and the last, and the manifest and the hidden, and He is knower of all things. He it is who created the heavens and the earth in 6 periods, and He is established on the throne of power. He knows that which goes down into the earth, and that which comes forth out of it, and that which comes down from heaven, and that which goes up to it. And He is with you wherever you are, and Allah is seer of what you do. His is the kingdom of the heavens and the earth, and to Allah are all affairs returned. He causes the night to pass into the day, and causes the day to pass into the night. And He is knower of what is in the hearts. Believe in Allah and His messenger, and spend of that whereof He has made you heirs. So those of you who believe and spend, for them is a great reward. And what reason have you that you believe not in Allah? And the messenger invites you to believe in your Lord, and He has indeed accepted your covenant if you are believers. He it is who sends down clear messages to His servant, that He may bring you forth from darkness into light. And surely Allah is kind, merciful to you. And what reason have you that you spend not in Allah's way? And Allah's is the inheritance of the heavens and the earth. Those of you who spend before the victory and fought are not on a level with others. They are greater in ranks than those who spend and fought afterwards. And Allah has promised good to all, and Allah is aware of what you do.
Part 27, Surah 57, Aaron. Section 2, Light and Life given by the Prophet. Ayats 11 through 19. Who is he that will offer to Allah a good gift? So he will double it for him, and he will have a generous reward. On that day thou wilt see the faithful men and the faithful women, their light gleaming before them, and on their right hand. Good news for you this day, gardens wherein rivers flow to abide therein. That is the great achievement. On the day when the hypocrites, men and women, will say to those who believe, wait for us that we may borrow from your light. It will be said, turn back and seek a light. Then a wall with a door in it will be raised between them. Within it shall be mercy, and outside of it chastisement. They will cry out to them, were we not with you? They will say, yea, but you caused yourselves to fall into temptation, and you waited and doubted, and vain desires deceived you, till the threatened punishment of Allah came, and the arch deceiver deceived you about Allah. So this day no ransom will be accepted from you, nor from those who disbelieve. Your abode is the fire, it is your patron, and evil is the resort. Has not the time yet come for the believers that their hearts should be humble for the remembrance of Allah and the truth that is revealed, and that they should not be like those who were given the book before? But time was prolonged for them, so their hearts hardened, and most of them are transgressors. Know that Allah gives life to the earth after its death. Indeed, we have made the signs clear for you, that you may understand. The men who give in charity and the women who give in charity are set apart for Allah a goodly portion. SubhanAllah. The men who give in charity and the women who give in charity and set apart for Allah a goodly portion, it will be doubled for them, and theirs is a generous reward. And those who believe in Allah and His messengers, they are the truthful and the faithful ones with their Lord. They have their reward and their light. And those who disbelieve and reject our messages, they are the inmates of hell.
Part 27, Surah 57, Iron, Section 3, Truth shall be established, Ayats 20 through 27. Know that this world's life is only sport and play and gaiety and boasting among yourselves, and a vying in the multiplication of wealth and children. It is as rain, whose causing the vegetation to grow pleases the husbandman. Then it withers away, so that thou seest it turning yellow. Then it becomes chaff. And in the hereafter is a severe chastisement, and also forgiveness from Allah and His pleasure. And this world's life is not but a source of vanity. Vie one with another for forgiveness from your Lord, in a garden, the extensiveness of which is as the extensiveness of the heaven and the earth. It is prepared for those who believe in Allah and His messengers. That is the grace of Allah. He gives it to whom He pleases, and Allah is the Lord of mighty grace. No disasters befall, subhanAllah, no disaster befalls in the earth or in yourselves but it is in a book before. We bring it into existence. Surely that is easy to Allah. So that you grieve not for what has escaped you, nor exalt in that which He has given you. And Allah loves not an arrogant boaster. Such are the niggardly, and enjoin niggardliness on men. And whoever turns back, then surely Allah is the self-sufficient, the praised. Certainly we sent our messengers with clear arguments, and sent down with them the book and the measure, that men may conduct themselves with equity. And we sent down iron, wherein is great violence and advantages to men, and that Allah may know who helps Him and His messengers unseen. Surely Allah is strong, mighty.
Part 27, Surah 57, Iron. Section 4, Double Reward for Believers. Ayats 26 through 29. And certainly we sent Noah and Abraham, and we gave prophethood and the book to their offsprings. So among them is he who goes aright, but most of them are transgressors. Then we made our messengers to follow in their footsteps, and we made Jesus, son of Mary, to follow, and we gave him the gospel. And we put compassion and mercy in the hearts of those who followed him. And as for monkery, they innovated it. We did not prescribe it to them, only to seek Allah's pleasure. But they did not observe it with its true due observance. So we gave those of them who believe their reward, but most of them are transgressors. O you who believe, keep your duty to Allah and believe in His messenger. He will give you 2 portions of His mercy and give you a light in which you shall walk and forgive you. And Allah is forgiving, merciful. That the people of the book may know that they control not of the grace of Allah, and that grace is in Allah's hand. He gives it to whom He pleases, and Allah is the Lord of the mighty grace. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Surely Allah's word speaks the truth.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. All praise is due to Allah for the divinely guided journey through the Holy Qur'an, the completion of today's reading. We will close out in prayer, after which we will have brief announcements.
Attention prayer.
Our Lord, punish us not if we forget or make a mistake. Our Lord, do not lay on us a burden as thou didst lay on those before us. Our Lord, impose not on us afflictions which we have not the strength to bear, and pardon us and grant us protection, and have mercy on us. Thou art our patron, so grant us victory over the disbelieving people. O Allah, you are the most forgiving, and you love forgiveness, so forgive us. Surah 113, Al-Falaq, the Dawn. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Say, I seek refuge in the Lord of the Dawn from the evil of that which He has created and from the evil of intense darkness when it comes, and from the evil of those who cast evil suggestions in firm resolutions, and from the evil of the envier when he envies. Surah 114, Al-Nas, the Men. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Say, I seek refuge in the Lord of men, the King of men, the God of men, from the evil of the whispering of the slinking devil, who whispers into the hearts of men from among the jinn and the men. Allah, there is no God but He, the ever-living, the self-subsisting, by whom all subsist. Slumber overtakes Him not, nor sleep. To Him belongs whatever is in the heavens and whatever is in the earth. Who is he that can intercede with Him but by His permission? He knows what is before them and what is behind them, and they encompass nothing of His knowledge except what He pleases. His knowledge extends over the heavens and the earth, and the preservation of them both tires Him not, and He is the Most High, the Great. Nothing deserves to be worshipped except Allah. He is one and has no associate. His is the kingdom, and for Him is praise, and He has power over all things. O Allah, there is none who can withhold what Thou grantest, and there is none who can give what Thou withholdest, and greatness does not benefit any possessor of greatness as against Thee. O Allah, we beseech Thee for help and seek Thy protection, and believe in Thee and rely on Thee and extol Thee, and are thankful to Thee and are not ungrateful to Thee, and we declare ourselves clear of and forsake him who disobeys Thee. O Allah, Thee do we serve, and for Thee do we pray and prostrate ourselves, and to Thee do we betake ourselves, and to obey Thee we are quick, and Thy mercy do we hope for, and Thy punishment do we fear, for Thy punishment overtakes the unbelievers. O Allah, guide us among those whom Thou hast guided, and preserve us among those whom Thou hast preserved, and befriend us among those whom Thou hast befriended, and bless us in what Thou hast granted, and save us from the evil of what Thou hast ordered. For Thou dost order, and no order is given against Thy order. Surely he is not disgraced whom Thou befriendest. Blessed art Thou, our Lord, and highly exalted. O Allah, continue to bless, strengthen, and protect the Holy Qur'an 30 and 30, Qur'anic Read and Podcast. Bless each and everyone that logs into this sacred space for the recitation of the revealed word of Allah. Bless each and everyone individually and collectively, and the families that we represent by being present. Bless each reader lending their gift of voice in this sacred space. Continue to provide sustenance, healing, protection, guidance, comfort, and the light of understanding.
O Allah, I seek Thy refuge from anxiety and grief, and I seek Thy refuge from the lack of strength and laziness, and I seek Thy refuge from cowardice and niggardliness. And I seek thy refuge from being overpowered by debt and the oppression of men. O Allah, suffice thou me with what is lawful. Keep me away from what is prohibited, and with thy grace, make me free from want of what is beside you.
O Allah, we beseech thy help and we ask thy mercy, for we believe in thee and trust in thee for all that we need. And we are helpers in thine cause with thine apostle. Grant to us success. Bless us, O Allah, to find the path of unity, that we as a people may come together as one, fearing no one but thee, and recognizing only that in thee there is life, for thee and thee alone art the only reality. O Allah, we ask you to bless our old and our young, those who are present and those who are absent. Bless us to struggle for true liberation, not only liberation economically and morally, but liberation spiritually from the shackles that bind our minds to false ideas and concepts. And let us grow strongly in love with each other, that we love for our brother what we love for ourselves, and that we do unto no one that which we would not have done unto ourselves. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah, and what we ask in his name. Ameen. Brothers, Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! God is the greatest, and there is nothing deserving of worship or praise but the Almighty God. Thank you for listening.
Allahu Akbar. All praise is due to Allah for the divinely guided journey through the Holy Qur'an. We began the call this morning, 5:30 a.m. Eastern Standard, with Final Call Radio. We heard a compilation of messages delivered by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We heard portions of the project titled Let's Change the World. This project is still available for purchase. It is a multi-CD album set with a 100-page book that discusses the journey of making this beautiful music project. We heard from our sister, Dr. Sophia, NOI Healthy Minute. Join us tomorrow morning as we continue with installment number 43. We will be reading part 28. Part 28 begins with Surah 58, Ayat 1, and goes all the way through to Surah 66, Ayat. All praise is due to Allah. Muhammad Mas, number 7C, invites you to a special black tie gala featured special guest, student minister Nuri Muhammad. You will be in for an evening of elegance, fine cuisine, awards, and entertainment. When? Thursday, November 14th, 2024, 6:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Where and times 96-43 Springfield Boulevard, Queens Village, New York, 11429. I would like to read a personal invitation letter from my student minister, Henry Muhammad. dated October 14th, 2024. Assalamu alaikum, constituents, friends, and supporters. We are thrilled to announce that Muhammad Mosque number 7C is hosting an exclusive black tie fundraising gala on Thursday, November 14th, 2024 at the prestigious Antons. As a long-standing pillar of our community, Muhammad Mosque number 7C has been unwavering in its dedication to the pursuit of freedom, justice, and equality. Our commitment to these noble values is driven by Allah God, inspired by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and sustained by the love and support of our vibrant community. To elevate our vital work and amplify our impact, we're embarking on an ambitious journey to secure a new home for Muhammad Mosque number 7C in Brooklyn, New York. We invite you to sponsor an ad page in our events souvenir journal program book. Your support will contribute to our noble cause and showcase your business to over 250 distinguished guests. Choose from our range of advertising options. Centerfold, 2 pages, $500. Full page, $200. Half page, $100. Quarter page, $75. Business card, $50. Name listing, $25. For your convenience, payments can be made through PayPal, $mosque7c@gmail.com, or by check, Muhammad Mosque 7C, mail to Muhammad Mosque 7C, P.O. Box 70263, Brooklyn, New York 11207. Please reference Building Fund in the Notes section and submit your business artwork and information to MM7C Souvenir Ads at gmail.com by Monday, November 4th, 2024. We extend our heartfelt gratitude for your consideration and support. Signed, Henry Muhammad, Student Minister, Muhammad Mosque 7C. The price for each ticket is $200. Join the divinely guided audio-visual journey through the Holy Qur'an 30 and 30 Quranic Read and Podcast daily 5:30 a.m. Eastern Standard for a music mix or a lecture followed at 6 a.m. by the reading of the Holy Qur'an. Join us by way of Zoom. Meeting ID 975-290-9214. Passcode HQ30. Would you like to help out behind the scenes with a gift or a talent or desire to read in this sacred space? Call us on 718-715-8344. Look for us on social media, the Holy Qur'an 30 and 30. Log into YouTube, the Holy Qur'an 30 and 30. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Surah 30, Ayat 30. So, set thy face for religion, being upright, the nature made by Allah, in which He has created men. There is no altering Allah's creation. That is the right religion, but most people know not. I mean, I mean, I mean. Praise be to Allah. Once again, thank you for sharing in this divinely guided journey through the Holy Qur'an. We are truly grateful that you sacrificed your time to be in this sacred space with us on today. We will continue with a message delivered by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan titled Elijah Muhammad Warns Trump, Defending the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Part 179. Assalamu alaikum, family. Stand by.
And I have not failed you in warning you of what the government of the United States of America has been planning against black people generally, but black youth in particular, and the Nation of Islam. Now, you may not have been listening, but you're going to listen today, because we're at the end of this now. I had to think about this. Reagan met with the Joint Chiefs of Staff, okay, in early September. Wow. But I don't know who the war is against. He didn't say. That was for me to study. But the formula was so deep. I went on a tour, world tour, and while I was in Africa, boy, America, you have been something, because you knew when you heard me in '84 that Elijah was back. And he was back in that young man that was talking. He's back today. And now, in the fullness of these 32 years, I'm going to run real quick over 6 presidents that have met with their Joint Chiefs of Staff to plan a war in the Islamic world and to plan a war against black people and particularly black youth. And we're at the end of it now. The plan is to genocide and kill you all. Listen to me good now. I'm going to drop it in the president's lap because he's the last one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Reagan ain't never loved us. When Reagan was the governor in California, he and Edwin Meese, who later became his attorney general, they were planning war games in California. And the war games were not against some foreign enemy. The war games were against black people. And this has continued from 6 presidents. And the slickest of them all, Tricky Dick was before, but Slick Willie, you caught more hell under the Clinton administration, and you thought he was our first black president. But I want to run the presidents down so you could see that the government of America has been planning our demise. Any members of Congress here, any members of the civil rights movement that are here, You love this nation. You've suffered every indignity to make America better, that she might be great. And every time you forced her to make a law that was in our favor, they came right behind that law with skill and chicanery to make the law of non-effect. This started in 1876 in the Hayes-Tilden presidential election. It was so close they didn't know who it was, who the winner was. So they met here in Washington at the Wormley Hotel. It's not here now. In 1877. But the election was in 1876. Thank you. I know what I'm saying, brother. I need help, though. But when I need it, I'll call you. In the Wormley Hotel, the white members of Congress made a deal that Rutherford B. Hayes would be president. But Tilden, being in Congress, the deal was that when we were so-called emancipated, Abraham Lincoln sent federal troops into the South to make sure that black people were treated better. But the deal was, if you let Rutherford B. Hayes be president, we'll take all the federal troops out of the South, and then you all can go back to doing what you do. That was called the great betrayal of the so-called American Negro in 1877. Now, to the Jewish people in this hall, you weren't there, but there was a Jewish man named Levi who was in Congress, and he sold the agreement that was made in the hotel to the members of Congress, and it became policy. And Reconstruction then was over. In 12 years, black people had built over 60 towns because we were the artisans, we were the craftsmen, we were the builders. In 12 years, we were in Congress. We had high positions. But after that agreement came the Ku Klux Klan, the Night Riders, slave codes, black codes, and members of the Jewish community who owned a lot of the plantations. Please don't get angry and upset, because this is real history. You put us back on the plantation as sharecroppers. You began riding down on us, and if any of us escaped the plantation, many of the Irish that were coming over were they call them the paddy wagon. They would come after us and bring us back to the plantation. Those were hard days. Hard days. Guess what? When the Emancipation Proclamation so-called set us free? We were the builders. We were the architects. We were the brick masons. We were the carpenters. We were the plumbers. We were all of that. If you saw a white man with a hammer in his hand, he was going to beat some black man, but he wasn't building nothing. Then, in this book, which we researched from Jewish scholars, historians, rabbis, over 2,000 footnotes. And when they told me, Farrakhan, that book is a great calumny against the Jewish people. They said, we want you to denounce that book. Because it's false. I said to Irv Kutzinet, Rabbi Shalman, and a few rabbis I met in their home. They said, Farrakhan, you must denounce the book. I said, fine. If it's false, I don't want to have nothing to do with it. I said, but everyone that we quoted is a Jewish scholar, a Jewish rabbi, or a Jewish historian. So I'll denounce it, but you have to denounce everyone that we quoted as liars. Now look, all is fair. In love. They told me, if you want our friendship, we have to watch you over a protracted period of time. Yeah, imagine. And I was supposed to be like a little Negro because I'm in their house and say, yes, sir. When we got finished with them that day, the war was on. Because I told them, I don't mind being your friend. That's why I'm here. But if being your friend means I got to deny the truth, then yours is a friendship I don't need, and yours is a friendship I don't want. So you all know that when you got a black man that's not going to bow to you, then that's trouble, because you've been waiting for the Messiah. And you know that he comes to end your civilization. So when you hear black men talking like Farrakhan is talking, you hear the end coming. And if you can stop him, if you can shut his mouth, if you can kill him, Ronald Reagan wanted to kill Gaddafi. When I found out the war was against Gaddafi, I was in Benin and in Ghana and in Ouagadougou in Burkina Faso. Yes, sir. And I sent all my family back, and I flew to Libya. And all of Gaddafi government was in my hotel, and I told them my vision. They ran out of that room like Raid had been there. And the next thing I knew, Brother Gaddafi said he wanted me to speak and introduce him the next day, and 80 nations of the non-aligned movement were in Libya. And I stood in Tripoli and repeated that experience on the wheel and told Gaddafi what they were going to do. They were going to bomb the airport, destroy the water project. He listened. He got his airplanes out into the Sudan. The next thing I knew, an American plane was shot down, and one of those fine aircraft carriers that Mr. Trump brought over to Asia was in the Gulf of Sirte. But something happened to him. By the time I got to Saudi Arabia, it came out in the Arab news that there was a bright object over the Mediterranean. Just listen to me. I'll die on what I'm telling you. And I said to those with me, I said, the wheel was there. The electronic equipment on the aircraft carrier was messed up. So it had to go back to Florida. In the meantime, I was able to get out of Libya. I got into Saudi Arabia, and a few days later, the bombs dropped on Libya. It was the greatest assassination attempt, most expensive in history. So they always wanted Gaddafi. But what I did not know was the war at that time was on two fronts. It was war with a Muslim country in Africa, but war on the nation of Islam and Islam, period, in America. Reagan was doing war games in California. When he became president, he brought all that stuff with him into the White House. Meese came. And the war games were practiced even more so because they expected, since 67 and 68, when the riots broke out and Dr. King was assassinated, the government of America knew that the black youth were dangerous, black folk were becoming more militant, and instead of seeing that there has to be a solution, let's separate the two people. But he didn't want to do that. Killed them. Reagan out. Well, I start with Nixon because that fellow was so bad. Did you know that Nixon the whole thing about Nixon was the left, West, the anti-war group, and all blacks, not some. So the plot was against black people in general. Notice how many black people we sent to Congress or made mayors or police chiefs, and all of a sudden they accepted a box of candy, or they went to a basketball game or baseball game, and the next thing you know, they're before court and going to jail on some foolishness that white people do all the time. They made Mayor Marion Barry look horrible. They had brother on TV smoking the pipe. Did they? They made Mayor Barry look so bad that black people who were in the spirit to vote for black people, after seeing Mayor Barry like that, they said, what are we doing, man? So I was somewhere in Atlanta, and they came, the press. Mr. Farrakhan, you seem to be an upstanding man. What do you think about a man who is highly respected, and he's using drugs and having illicit sex? I said, Who you talking about? JFK? That black woman froze. She wanted me as a black man to condemn another black man, but the White House, all you members of the press, you knew what kind of man John was. You knew what Bobby was. You knew they were sneaking Marilyn Monroe into the White House. But you never said a damn thing. Now all of a sudden everybody's groping. In the Holy Qur'an, Allah says of the Prophet, did not I find you an orphan? Did not I find you groping and showed you the way? Groping only means you're trying to find your way because you can't see, so you feel. Now, if you go to Congress and ask, will all the gropers please stand up? Practically the whole damn Congress will say, damn, I've been found out now. Just hypocrites. Oh, but then came Bush, H.W., and they say he's a groper too. From a wheelchair. I mean, the press is having a field day. In that packet, you'll find 2 letters that I wrote to President Bush, George W., but we warned H.W. of what was in his mind toward the Muslim world. Did you know that after 9/11, Wesley Clark, a general, talked about seeing a memo 10 years earlier out of the Pentagon? I want you to listen carefully. They were going to take down 7 Muslim countries in 5 years, ending with a war on Iran. So the spring came, and you saw like dominoes, members of the Muslim world falling. But when 9/11 took place, which we challenged the government's interpretation of 9/11. It's a false flag operation. You knew that the country was divided in the election of George W. Bush over Gore. So while he was walking down the avenue, what's the name of that avenue in Washington? Pennsylvania Avenue. Instead of people saying hail to the chief, they were saying hail to the thief. And the country was so divided that what it needed was some event that could pull a divided country together. So here comes 9/11. And they say Muslims did it. They had some pilots that had gone to Florida to take flight lessons. I don't think they passed off of a Piper Cub. I don't understand how they had gained enough knowledge to get into the cockpit and at over 500 miles an hour, drop that plane down and then into the tower. Do you know that there's a CIA man, I think his name is Crosby? That man said, when the American people believe in whatever we have said, and they believe it's true, we have won. You are a misused population. So when Mr. Trump talks about fake news, he knows what he's talking about. Now the press, you say you're the fourth estate. I would say you're in a hell of a state. Because you can't say what you really know to be the truth unless it passes the muster of those who are your bosses. Some of the press are assets of the CIA. Did you hear me? They have deceived the American people. So Donald J. Trump is busting up the institutions of a democratic country. My God. Yes, sir. Congress has 10% of the people with Congress. The media, the people don't trust the media. So every time he say fake news, if you study an article, 70 years of the CIA, the criminal arm of the U.S. government. These are criminals. They go into countries, kill presidents, overthrow governments, create civil war, and back away like they did nothing. They're crying about Russia's hacking into your little election when the American government has interceded in 81 countries to fix their elections and put into power those that would be in favor of American interests. But let me come to the end of this now. Tricky Dick and Slick Willie. We went from a small prison population, and the crime bill was directly against black people. White folk can afford to smoke or use powdered cocaine, but they fixed something in the crack cocaine. And we became addicted, and they sent us to prison. Once we're called a felon, they knew we couldn't vote anymore. So they were killing us at the voting booth by putting us in prison. And it all was a plot. And Mr. Trump, the consequences of America's evils over time has fallen in your lap. Do you know that we've been a problem for you ever since we've been here? You fought a civil war over what to do with us. Wow, think about that. Poor black brothers and sisters, you're so conscious now. you pulling down the Confederate flag, you know, because that was the flag of the South in their breakaway rebellion against the North. But that's history.
Yes, sir.
You don't feel their pain, and they sure don't feel yours. But do you know how many white folk in the South lost their homes, lost their farms, lost their lives in that war? So when you force them to take down the flag that represents their commitment to slavery, yes, and to the way of the South, you jump up and pull it down, and you don't think you're going to get a backlash from white people? Robert E. Lee is a great general. When America won the war with Japan, they sat down with the generals. First World War, they show respect, one general to another, one warrior to another. So now you want to take, okay, Robert, we don't like you, but get your statue out of here. So President Trump said, well, where's it going to end? Because the first 5 presidents were all slave owners. You're going to tear down the Jefferson Monument? You see how it's getting? So now white folk, as I said, when Mr. Trump was elected, the onion was being peeled back, and white civility was no more. They're not acting by you like you think they should. They're angry. And they're killing us. And they know they have a genocidal plot against all black America, starting with Nixon and Kissinger. And Memorandum 200, go look it up. They want to cull the population of our planet by 2 billion people. This is not human. This is satanic. They've got their scientists in laboratories how to control your mind. So Dr. Wesley, our minister and analyst and researcher, he put out a book on weed. I mean, that's like talking to a pig eater and telling them don't eat pig. Man, they'll beat you up and sit down and eat a hog head. When you talk about weed to black people without God, you better put God in the equation, brother. Because weed is all right if it's pure. It has properties in it that can be used for medicinal purposes. But they're weaponizing the weed now. And they're doing lobotomies on the black man's brain. With chemistry, biology, and electrical energy stimulation. You're under assault, black brothers and sisters. Why is the sperm count in black men falling? Because of the food you eat and the water you drink. The lead in the water in Flint is not an accident. It's in Cleveland that way, and if you're not careful, It's here in Chicago. You can divert the water into the black community and then drop some stuff in the water. You drink in the water, you're bathing with the water, and all of a sudden you're acting strange. Do you know that homosexuality can be produced through chemistry? Don't be mad at me. Think. You can be turned into something through chemistry and the misuse of biology. So now the ball is in the court of Donald J. Trump. Mr. Trump, you met with your Joint Chiefs of Staff in August and in early September. You had your generals at Camp David. They weren't talking about taxes. You don't use generals to talk about taxes. You were planning a war, sir. George W. Bush, after 9/11, said he was going to divide the Muslims against themselves. Now a 1,400-year dispute between Shia and Sunni is about to take into a war. President Trump went to Saudi Arabia and called 50 Sunni nations through the king of Saudi Arabia. And instead of inviting Muslims to sit with Muslims to find out what's the point of contention and bringing peace about, he took those Sunni nations, yes you did, Mr. Trump, and you aimed their anger against Tehran and the Shia nation. Just recently, you sent much weaponry into the Middle East. You've sent missiles into the Middle East. You didn't send them. You urged them to buy them. A war is brewing. President Trump, you just left Asia, and you carried with you to Asia 3 of your largest aircraft carriers with F-18, F-16, a nuclear sub in the water. You had an armada around Kim Jong-un. You went to talk, but you had firepower to aid your lexicon of language. Barack Obama, you hate him. You call him a weak president because he's not like you, Mr. Trump, and he's not like his predecessors. He is like Jonah, who was a reluctant prophet. Barack Obama was reluctant to be the type of wicked man that your presidents are, have been, and like you said, let's take the oil. See, that's That's not presidential. The presidents would say, let's see if we can make a deal and give them money for their oil because we really want it all. That's presidential. We'll send our Secretary of State. He's such a diplomat. But you, Mr. Trump, we'll take the oil. You remember? And with Stephanopoulos on ABC, we'll bomb the hell out of them. See, Mr. Trump is real. He is what he is. Now you either got to see him as he is, because all the rest of them were vampires that looked good in the day, but when night came, you know. Mr. Trump, and I say this to my brother Barack, you really tried to make America better. Couldn't succeed. Because the moment you went overseas and started talking about the mistakes that America has made, Romney and the Republicans said, look at him. He's over there apologizing. Mr. Trump, more than an apology is needed. Mr. President, you're going to have to deal with either the thought that's in your mind that will destroy America and her future, because once the trigger of war is pulled, it will escalate. Now, I'm going to tell you what my teacher told me. You have planned a war. The war that you have planned, you and your generals, is to the Middle East. You want to use the Sunni at the prodding of Israel to attack Iran. Just like you did with my brother Gaddafi. You laid back, leading from behind. You in Syria now. Boy, this is rough. And Mrs. Clinton, she encouraged you to give the go-ahead to kill Muammar Gaddafi. Gaddafi had come in out of the cold. Gaddafi gave up all his weapons of mass destruction. And Bush used to be so proud to say, Gaddafi got the message. He's come in. And then under Barack, Hillary Clinton imposed her will. And they murdered Muammar Gaddafi. And the killing of Muammar Gaddafi wrapped a ribbon around Kim Jong-un. And it was given to you as a gift. You will never get North Korea to give up what she has as a trump card. That's over, Mr. Trump. Can you live with North Korea with nuclear weapons? I think you're going to have to. Even though you have war plans already to knock out North Korea, but China said, if you attack North Korea, we have to defend them. China is right. Allah don't love aggressors. He said, but if North Korea attacks you, America, we'll lay out of it. So you went there thinking that you making friends. Wrong. You didn't discuss with China his plans for war. You have laid out in the Pentagon how you can wipe the Chinese out. But you don't want China, not yet. And you don't want Kim Jong-un yet. But you're looking for a softer target and you think that's Iran. Wrong. Wrong. If you permit Israel to push Saudi and the Sunnis into war with the Shiites, I want to say this to the Muslim world. See, you are so blinded that you think with America's backing you can win. Wrong. You're a Muslim. If you got the backing of Allah, you can win. But you don't have that backing. Not as an aggressor. Pakistan is sitting there with nuclear weapons. I noticed, Mr. Trump, he didn't mention Pakistan. Although at the United Nations, you did mention Iran, you mentioned Venezuela, you mentioned Cuba, and you mentioned Kim Jong-un. You'd rather fight all of those three and leave Kim Jong-un alone. But guess what? Guess what they found in North Korea? $6 to $10 trillion in mineral wealth. And guess what they found in Afghanistan? They dropped the mother of all bombs in an empty space, letting us know that you got it and you will use it. But what did you uncover? You know that in Afghanistan, there's another 10 trillion in mineral wealth. So Barack tried to get you out of there, but you agreed. You're back in it now. And you're not just in there. They found oil in the Golan Heights. And Israel said she wants to get involved in the fray in Syria. But Russia is there. And they found tremendous oil reserves in the Golan Heights. And Israel wants to take that oil so that she will be oil self-sufficient. See, and just as you're reaching for it, your hands are going to get burned. And Israel, you are making America lose big time. You don't want me to say how much control AIPAC has over the U.S. government. And I know the press is here, you can't even say it except you tell something ugly so that your editors will give you leave. But brothers and sisters, let me tell you, you're going to be set free. Because that kind of cowardly news person who knows the truth and afraid to tell it. If you love this country, you tell the truth to change America, for she is going down and fast. Mr. President, you won't make America great again. Not in our time. She became great killing Native Americans. She became great enslaving us, bringing us from Africa into America to work the cotton fields. You're not going to get that opportunity back anymore. We made America rich and strong. And you can't tell me, Farrakhan, if you don't like America, you can go on back to Africa. Let me tell you something, white folk. You don't have a place on this earth that you can call your own except what we gave you, and that's in Europe. Now I'm closing. My God, Farrakhan. Are they planning war? Yes. Is it against black youth and black people? Yes, sir. Absolutely. I want to close with showing you the signs that I had to watch in order to know what to say to Mr. Trump today. I was right, and you'll see it in your pack with President Bush. I was right with Ronald Reagan. When we had the Million-Man March in this city, do you know that you were looking at a miracle? Let me tell you something. I can't take credit for what I know God helped me to do. We had the support of the nationalist community. We had the support of the church. 82% of the people present were Christians. 12% were other. And a Muslim called it, with the help of a Christian pastor, the Reverend Dr. Ben Chavis. We could not have done it without the black press. BET under Bob Johnson took out a full-page ad in USA Today back in the Million-Man March. Mayor Marion Barry gave us the greatest support we have ever had from any mayor. I can't even get a police escort in Washington, D.C. Suppose I'm assassinated here. But you're already planning to kill me, and that I know. To the government. You're not coming into the black community looking for black identity extremists and not looking for me. You're not coming looking for separatists and saying you're not looking for me and the Nation of Islam. Muslims, do you know that we're the only thing that stands in between their wicked plan of the demasculization of the black man? The only thing that stands between that is the Nation of Islam. Now, those of you who are in love with Jesus Christ, I want you to know that a black man from Georgia was raised from a dead state, Elijah Muhammad. And you tried to kill him. And you thought you had succeeded. That's why when I was taken up on the wheel, he said, make known to them their plans and tell them you got it from me, Elijah Muhammad, on the wheel. What was he asking me, pardon me, ordering me to tell you that for? So you would know that he escaped your plot to kill him. He's alive. He is in power. I want to introduce you to Jesus the Christ. That man is on the wheel with his teacher. He's been up there now for 42 years. He said that God studied 42 years to deliver us from the hands of our tormentors. He's ready now. Now listen, I'm not playing now. They don't want to give you up. But I'm saying this to you, President Trump. The ball is in your court now. Well, what do you have for me to do? I think you should repent for all the evil that America has done to us, to the peoples of the world, like it was in Nineveh, the only city that ever was saved in the Bible from the judgment of God was because Jonah, a faithful prophet, warned them, and they had the heart to repent. And Nineveh lived for 300 more years. We're at the end of America as you know it. But if you let us go, you don't have nothing for us to do. But you have planned to continue the work of your predecessors, not Barack. Barack is out of it, yet in it. Poor fella. He wanted to be Pharaoh, and he's not a good Pharaoh. I mean, the pot is not made for him. He tried out for it, and they gave him 8 years, you know, and look at the way they talked about him. We helped put him there. They called him a monkey. They mocked his wife and children. Mr. Trump darn near tore up the White House getting every aspect of him out of there before he moved in. You hate our shadow. He was a good man, and you hamstrung him. He could have helped you, not to be great again, but to be better. Better than you are, and better for the world. Because you taking the world down with you. Now, I have delivered a message and a warning, Mr. Trump, because I don't have an armada. I come to you. No army, no navy. These brothers that are around me, they don't carry any weapons. We're forbidden to carry weapons. We're forbidden to store weapons in our home. So if you want to kill us, we're here. I'm not running from you. I'm running to you. Because I had one more thing to do. And I earned me a first-class ticket to the wheel. And unfortunately, I had to learn what that one more thing was. I tried doing many things. I said, what is that one more thing? What is the one more thing that Jesus had to do before he could go to be with the Father? He had to go to Calvary and Golgotha and be crucified and die. I told you from Reverend Willie Wilson's church, I know the price that I gotta pay, not for lying, but for telling the truth. I've suffered all these years for telling the truth. My family has suffered all these years for being with a father and a husband that tells the truth. But I'm at the end of my journey among you. A temporary pause. And when you hear that I'm gone, I will get away. You're not going to kill me. He told me in a cryptic sentence, he said, brother, if Allah can't save me, that's a sign that he can't save you. I went to a funeral that was supposed to have been his. I saw a body that was supposed to have been his. I kissed the forehead of that body, and I believed that my teacher was dead. But if he was dead, all the things that he taught me wouldn't make any sense, because he gave me so much to do that I couldn't do it if he were not alive to guide me in the doing of it. So in 1981, I said, no, he's alive. I learned through study and through help from those who heard him say things that he never said to me, because he knew his servant. I would be dead now if I believed he was alive, because I would have fought like hell to keep the work that he had done alive. But he wanted it destroyed, fulfilling the scripture, unless a seed of corn fall to the earth and die, it can't bring up a new stalk. I've been among you now 40 years, and I have not wavered one time. And they have not been able to make me bow down. Neither have you, my black brother and sister. I have fought for you. And I ask you for nothing. So, Mr. Trump has a decision to make. I don't go to White Houses. If his study of what I'm sending him in the mail, to let him see what the CIA is doing to black people and what the government has been doing. If you wish to talk to me, I'll be glad. Because it's not about that kind of deal. It's about letting our people go. Because you know you have nothing for them to do. Well, what do you want? Well, some of this earth that we can call our own. How much do you owe us? Have you ever added it up? In today's dollars, it's in trillions what you owe us. So just like you push the Palestinians out to give the Jews a homeland, and we're the real ones. Push some of your own people out. And we'll take 8 states. Oh, Farrakhan, now the wheels have gone off your wagon. Yeah, well, you didn't have none on yours. Let me tell you something. If you don't give justice to us, you will lose everything you got, including your life. Because God now said he's ready to fight you for our deliverance. And he told me to tell you, you don't have no fight against the forces of nature. I know you say it's global warming. No, brother and sister, there is global warming. It's true. And man and woman have done something to produce a warming. But what you seeing, that ain't global warming, baby. That's the judgment of God. And so I'm here to tell you that I come to you, but I got backup. I don't have no aircraft carrier. But he already told me what he's going to do with the 6th and 7th Fleet. You squeeze me a little, and I'll tell you a little more.
All praise is due to Allah. What a powerful, powerful message delivered by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, a warning to Trump. Join us tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. Eastern Standard, for another lecture or a music mix, followed at 6 a.m. by the reading of the Holy Qur'an. Enjoy your day, family. Stay safe. Assalamu alaikum.